Hey guys, in today's video we're going to do TOA hard and TOA normal boss fights. I'm showcasing the team I almost always use for TOA hard boss fights. And this also works for TOA normal as well. The team I'm using is Baretta lead, Frigate, Spectra, Woonhak, and Mav. Baretta is on Despair Focus, Frigate is on Swift Focus, Spectra is on Violent Blade because I also use them in D10 Speed Run. Woonhak is on Violent Focus, and Mav is on Violent Broken. My speed tune is Frigate's gonna move first, Spectra second, Baretta third, Woonhak fourth, and Mav last. Alright, so let's give it a go. As you watch, if you watched my previous video, the combo with Woonhak here is with Spectra. Spectra has that speed break in, and then Woonhak will come in and guarantee that stun. He will almost always stun with the second skill. There's times that he fails, but from experience, he almost always stun with 50% chance. As you can see here, why am I using Frigate instead of Baretta? No, I'm sorry. Instead of Bernard or Verd. It's because he's also a tag bar booster. But the really cool thing about him is he has, for his third skill, it makes my monster moves, and it reduces their cooldown by 1 turn. So it's like a Mav and like a Bernard all in one. So with Frigate and Mav together, that's like a mini Winddragon or Jameer. So that helps a lot and helps me get in the total CC in, and it helps me get those dots in. And what's really great about Frigate is that he also has that defense break with first skill, and then with the second skill he has the bombardment, which also helps the stuns as well. And what's great about the Mav Frigate combo is that they reset each other's skill. Unlike Jameer, Illusion of Time, it's unaffected by a cooldown reduction. So with this, it helps a lot, and it makes my runs really smooth, because then I won't have to wait for that. Like for instance, if I have Jameer, I wouldn't have to wait for the long turns for his cooldown reset. So pretty much I landed all my dots in already, so I'm just going to keep poking until I'll move on to the next round. So as you can see, this team is very, very, very efficient in running the mobs for the boss. And once I get to the boss, you'll see how good this team is. Yep, this team runs no healers whatsoever. Probably the only healer is Mav, he self-heals, and Woonhak as well, but I hardly use those. I hardly use Woonhak's third skill anyways. But Mav, yes, you'll need him to self-heal and provoke the boss. So pretty much the same thing this round as well. So if you don't have Frigate, you can use, like I said before, you can use Bernard or Verd. Before I was using Frigate, I was using Verd a lot, but the problem with Verd is he really does nothing in TOA, because all he does is moving attack bar and maybe a little bit DPS here and there, probably second skill DPS. But yeah, so Verd doesn't really have too much of a impact in TOA hard. Plus, Frigate has a defense break, and Bernard has a defense break as well, so they're slightly more useful than Bird. But yeah, you could use those two to replace Frigate and my team here. And the problem about Bird that I really don't like is when you run into water monsters like Renas, where he's not going to be boosting attack bar often, and your Baretta is going to struggle hitting those, like dotting those water monsters. So then it's going to give you a harder time. I mean, you'll eventually beat it, but it's gonna take very long. So with Frigate, he adds that defense break in, and he adds that defense break in, so it makes all your runs much faster because your DPS will be slightly higher. So I already talked about the Spectra Woonhak combo. The total CC allows me to do whatever I like, and land on the dots, and yeah, to just poke away until the monsters die. So in replacement for like a normal run, the reason I'm using Spectra here is for the boss DPS, because the boss he has a ton of HP, and so with Spectra's second skill, you're able to kill the boss very, very fast, and you wouldn't have to worry about killing the mobs before killing the boss. Other than that, Spectra can be replaced by any AoE speed breaker like Mantra, Poseidon, and like the boss here, because he has a third skill, speed break. So yeah, anybody can replace your Spectra here, but for TOA boss fight, Spectra is very necessary if you want fast runs. So here I'm gonna do second skill. I usually activate the bombardment first, just because. And do the provoke. Then we'll look at attack speed. Save again. And then reduce the speed as well, just for funsies. And now let's reduce the attack bar, and we missed again. So that's okay. It happens because he's a water monster, and chances of glancing is there. And then we'll poke away with Poseidon here, and then do Fury finally, and we'll just keep poking Poseidon. Get the defense break in, so Spectra can land more damage. Make sure to provoke. And the map is here, to CC the boss with Baretta. And then let's move. Yeah, my Baretta's missing a lot. He usually doesn't miss this much even on water monsters. Before I had Spectra on Violent, he was on Swift and he works just fine, but he's on a DPS Violent build right now. Yeah, but overall Swift works perfectly, but it might just take it'll take a little bit longer than for sure it'll take a little bit longer than while he's on Violent. Yes, and that speed break in. Then Woonhak will stun all of them again. Oh, we didn't get the Fuko. That's alright. He's not gonna attack my Spectra because I have elemental advantage over him. And then let's reduce that attack bar. Yes, finally. And then we'll just keep poking Poseidon away, and then this should be game soon. Fury. So with this comp, you don't need to kill the minions. A lot of tutorials I see on YouTube, it's almost best to kill the minions first. But with this total CC, like I talked about in my last video, you do not need to worry about killing the mobs at all. Poke away. Dots for funsies. We don't really need the dot. I guess we go for the extra stun. Yeah, that Fuko, he is resisting all my Woonhak, all his stuns apparently. Let's try again. Poking away. I really like Woonhak against boss fights because he has that first skill, attack break, and lancing hit. So it will guarantee my man not to die, which he should never die anyways if you build him right. Poke away. And what's great about Spectra is that even if you are at 1 HP, he will not die to his second skill because it takes 10% of his HP each time he uses it. And what's funny is that I found out that I would say probably 3 or 4 months ago, I was a little slow, but that made me use Spectra even more, especially against boss fight now. Make sure I get that speed break in. Just keep poking away. Gotta get that speed break in because Baretta's chance of glancing hit is very, very high. Okay, it's a water monster apparently. Now Baretta's 100% accuracy, and there's still many times where he still miss, even on non-water monster boss. So it's not surprising at all. Yes, Baretta's doing a nice job here. Yeah, the reason why this fight is a little longer is because my Baretta is not landing that turbulence. Because if so, Poseidon won't ever get to move. But that turbulence glances, so this battle will take a little bit longer. But yeah, non-water boss fights are much faster, and the time usually the time for each boss fight are usually the same. Yeah, this team works any of the bosses and TOA hard except 100. So, and the time is usually the same because the DPS are with dots. So, and not damage. And so then each run, as long as I land enough dots, the game. As long as I land enough dots and move quick enough, and I'll also allow my opponents to move too. Yeah, they're all very similar time. So overall, yeah, it took me about probably less than 13 minutes to beat this. And one last note: the only team I would say this team comp won't work on 3 bosses, which are the vampire. I'm sorry, the light vampire boss, because he has 2 light AAs next to him. The light it doesn't work on the light AA boss either. I would say it wouldn't work on the Wind Monkey King boss, and it may work on the double OG boss. Mainly because those teams have counter, and how my team setup is it can't really stop counters, and they have built-in passives. So I don't have Oblivion, so yeah, it will not work for those bosses, but guaranteed to work against Zaratu, Ciara, everybody but those team. It may work with a double OG, but I haven't tested it very much, mainly because you can't CC both boss at the same time. So as long as you can provoke one and turbulence the other, you should do fine. But if they're on like TOA Hard 90, it may not work because they're much faster, so their attack bar increases. Even with speed breaking, their attack bar increases faster, so it's going to be slightly hard, and you might even need a healer, so Spectra is not ideal. Plus, the double OG has, they both have double AoE. moves for the second, third skill. So yes, and in conclusion, this team will work for any boss from 10 to 90, except those 4 boss exceptions. And thanks for watching, and hope this will help you complete TOA hard as far as you can, or even complete it. Alright guys, thanks for watching.